Hey, what's up you guys? This is Junior Trader, and in this video we are taking a look at Nvidia stock and then also the semiconductors, that is AMD, ARM, Broadcom, SMCI and Micron. So we have a bit of a bounce today in the market across pretty much all the stocks that were falling yesterday. Tesla is still doing great. QQQ and SPY, I'll take you over that as well in the morning here. But what do we make out of this bounce that's coming today, right? Let's talk about Nvidia. So as I mentioned yesterday that yes, guys, after such a fall, these bounces are common. The bounce can come just like we have pullbacks, right, in the uptrend, like you have these pullbacks in the uptrend, just like we have rebounds in the downtrend. Now, the level that I mentioned to watch until then the structure would not change, and that is the level of 123. So you can see we bounced very close to that level, but then we started to sell off. So again, in these type of situations, like when there's definitely a rebound coming, right, you still can trade both sides, up or down, but you have to identify your area of trade, right? And in this case, the area to trade was only until 123 if the rebound comes, right? And then accordingly, you can make your decisions, whichever is your preferable type of trade, short or long. But the swing, right? So there is an intraday that you can still trade based off of the given levels. But then on the swing, the structure on Nvidia though now, guys, is bearish since the time we lost 128. We have activated the lower highs, right? And we lost the pivot, and then we are just continuing lower, and let's see where this next lower high would form. The point to remember here though is that as long as we are below 123, there is no structure change to the upside on Nvidia. Structure is still to the downside overall as long as we close today below 123. All right, and based off of the structure, you would have your stop loss, size in, size out, whatever you want to do, that's up to you. So technically, structure is in the downtrend on Nvidia, and we are in the lower highs, lower lows sentiment. So yes, you can see we are still selling off. Now it all comes down to definitely the next leg would come down to only if we lose $117 with 50 days moving average. Until then, you can expect here some choppiness. So between 116 and 123, this is likely can stay choppy here. I call it a zone of sandwichness as well, and I coined that term if you are not aware about it. And yeah, so the next, and definitely if we get above 123, things may start to look a little bit in the direction for the bulls again, but until then, no. And definitely we will stay with the persistent structure that we are in right now, and that is that we are in the downtrend. We have lost the pivot. All right, so overall structure is the downtrend. Now what is this rebound doing, right? So let's go to the hourly interval here. All right, so the level, as I said, 123, right? Until then some bounce may come, that's a possibility, but you can see we are selling off into that rebound. Why so? Because structure is downtrending. So yeah, guys, if Nvidia comes down here, there's another possibility, and it continues to find support at 50 days moving average coming down from here above 117, and you see a pivot form here with the wick down here, good green candle form. And at that point, if we start to get above like 121 or close to 123 again, that may start to look like a pivot again on the little bit upside coming. But the structure is not bullish on Nvidia. 123 was the level to watch, and at this point, I mean, yeah, it's below that. It's just a rebound that happened even until 125. I do want to point out that we are still going to stay bearish though, but it's just a stronger rebound until 125, and that's why 123 to 125, I would just say bulls are gaining much more momentum there if we get up there, but technically will not be fully bullish, but we are getting more in the probability higher than 50% of bullish. So we are getting like 60% bullish, but not like as a strong bullish. So we are below 200 hours moving average. We have lower highs, and this, as I said, $123 level was the level to watch until rebound, and then from there we are selling off, you can see, and accordingly you would have taken your trades, right? When you start to see price action reject at these top areas, so if I go to the 5 minutes interval, you can see we had a supply zone form around 123, right? And then we started, you can see our day trading levels plus also are already up there, those levels marked by my indicator, and then you can see we just started to sell off, and then in the rebound also we are getting, you know, shorted here. So clearly it's the downtrend, guys, right? So these are the areas you use based off of the levels. You read the price action here, you see the supply zone forming, retest, failed, continue lower. All right, but anyways, Nvidia, a rebound came, but it fell short of that 123 as the level that we were supposed to be watching for the day on the today's price action, and that's that. Let's see how the Nvidia closes by the end of the day, and then I'll do another video later today. All right, let's go to AMD now. So AMD is in a bloodbath. You can see rebound came today a little bit, but it stayed below 50 days moving average. This structure was already broken on this. We are continuing lower. I'm not seeing any sign of upside on this. Pretty much once we lost this level of 171, guys, that was it. It was over, and still it's just falling. As I said yesterday as well, structure is broken on this, is to the downside, and we are just collapsing. ARM, as I said, once we lose this blue box over here, we're just gonna continue lower, and we have been just continuing lower. I'm not seeing any sign of upside, and yeah, you know, it can, if it wants, it can continue down to 149 unless I see another pivot form. Right now I'm not seeing any pivot, and after losing that blue box, yeah, this is just collapsing. Broadcom has a bit of a, it's a dead cat bounce. I would say a little bit of a bounce. It's not, it doesn't make it bullish. Yeah, it just, you know, take partial profits out. Broadcom is a very, you know, zigzaggy, choppy stock. You would want to trade it just most likely intradays, and if anytime it gets above 161 and 67 cents, it can continue to look better to the upside. Otherwise, if now we lose these levels to the downside with 50 days moving average, then the level to the downside you're watching is 144. That's Broadcom. Let's take a look at SMCI. So SMCI, guys, here we again broke the structure on this. Pretty much once we lost 911, as I have been saying, we are in the downtrend. Like we are not bullish anymore, and once we lost all the other pivots, we just got in the downtrend. And today also you can see we are seeing a sell-off in semiconductors, oh sorry, SMCI and all the semiconductors pretty much. Yeah, SMCI is not bullish, and as I have been saying, it's now to the downside, and it's just going to the downside. Yeah, just take levels by levels to the downside, right? And technically it's going in the direction of 200 days moving average. So let's see finally if this time gets there. Micron. So yeah, Micron, since the time, again, nothing has changed on this. Since the time we lost this blue box, we are just bearish. Pretty much once we lost 50 days moving average and this level that I talked about, 130, we are bearish, and we have been just plummeting. So yeah, it's bearish, guys, and we have been just falling. So just watch for the levels to the downside. You can also see at hourly interval what are other levels. Always size and size out your position, right? You should size out position as well wherever you see some price reaction at these intraday levels as well, right? So, but yeah, that's Micron breaking to the downside. Let's take a look at QQ and SPY real quick, and starting off with SPY. So technically SPY is still in the bullish structure, but as I said yesterday, yes, the weakness is there in SPY, and as if it eventually it will has to lose this full blue box before fully becoming bearish. Today we have a sell-off, and we'll see if this turns into a distribution phase eventually through this blue box, and then we'll see if the distribution phase marks itself as confirmed and we break to the downside, or it's just going to stay here and then continue higher again. And so these are the times when you would have to, you know, size and size out your position, take profits in the extensions, and then you know, on the lower time frame, you would see if the price action is holding support at those levels. The areas to watch, right? The significant levels and blue box. So we are still above 200 hours moving average on SPY. Yes, that rebound is again being sold off. Now you are still though watching this level of 555 with 200 hours moving average. If eventually you start to see price hold double bottoms here, consolidation, VIX forming, buying happening, you know, and then you see a level break to the upside, then it can just continue higher. Otherwise, no. If it do a feeble rebound and fails, so you have to see if it gets above the consolidation and neckline. But if it does a feeble rebound and fails, then it's just gonna continue to the downside. All right, that's SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. And so QQ broke the structure yesterday, and today you can see it's trying to do the underneath test of 20 days moving average, and it's falling and crashing. So yeah, sell-off is continuing on this. Yeah, structure on this is already broken yesterday, and it's just today continuing its journey to the downside. You can see rebound came all the way where? To our blue box, underneath of the blue box, rejected it, sold off. Why so? Because the trend was in the downtrend, so rebounds are just being shorted. So that's how to trade, right? All right, so that's it for this video, guys. Nvidia a little bit more selling off, I think. So yeah, it's still continuing lower. And yeah, so gave you the levels to watch, and Nvidia next big move would be below this 117 and 50 days moving average. Though this I would say I like to always give Nvidia benefit of doubt, and benefit to the bulls because it's Nvidia, but seems like right now it's a little bit bubble is bursting in the price action on this, but we already knew since the time we lost 108 and 20. That's the level I provided you to watch, and yeah, that was the time to take a really good move with the stop loss on the other side and capture the moves down here, right? Partial profits in the extensions. Time to reload is at the structural changes with the stop loss on the other side and take the move. If you missed that move, guys, you missed it. All right, that's the name of the game. You can't convince yourself, oh, let me short here. No, your time is done. Now you're in the drawdown. If you short here at the bottom, you're in the drawdown. This is the time to take partial profits of the short position. And then the rest is like rebound. In the rebound, then you take the positions with the stop loss still on the other side, right? And then you're continuing again to the downside. So you have to be disciplined and patient, take your positions, and with the stop loss on the other side. But after the move is done and you still think, I'll still take the move, and I'll still... You will have to manage your position much more stringently than, and with your stop loss on the other side, less position size, and all of those things. Again, principles of trading. All right, size in, size out, portfolio management, stop losses, positions where they are taken at the structural pivotal changes, areas with the stop loss on the other side. That's how the money is made. All right, I'll see you in my next videos, guys. Take care. Bye.